Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage. All got perspective, it's a collective. Get to the bottom of the truth is. With our hearts uncovered. Boy, detox from all of the lies you smothered. What I'm trying to kill you, but with faith you recover. Yup. Peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down mean we owe. So down mean we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's so hard to.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kimberly with Unseen Twisted Truths. We have my co-host DDH, and we have my co-host Henry. Hey, Henry.
Hi, all. How you doing?
You look beautiful tonight.
Oh, thank you. You do too.
Well, thank
And
you.
DDH remains the same. I'm sure it looks great.
Yes, at work,
You're good.
looking the same. He's really not on. But anyway, so tonight is about mental health matters, and I would like to talk to people about what mental health is and how important it is, because I don't think people really realize unless they're dealing with it, unless they're growing through it. You know what I'm saying? If they're dealing with mental health, then they can relate to it. But if they're not dealing with it, it's overlooked. It's not talked about, and it's actually frowned upon. Peace and blessings. DDH is in the comments. So it
Hey,
says, what is mental health? Mental health includes our emotional, physical, and social well-being. Hear that? It includes our emotional, physical, and social well-being. That's crazy.
it's a large sector of how we operate. It's really important.
Yeah. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make healthy choices. One, mental health is important. One's mental health is important in every stage of life, from childhood to adolescence and throughout their adulthood. There are many types of mental health conditions. And then it's going to go into the steps of mental health conditions. But I really want to talk about what it is at first, like how much it really impacts us before we talk about what types there is. Because if it affects you emotionally, physically, and socially, what do you get from that?
Everything affects your mental health. Everything starts with mental health. How you even approach the day or wake up.
Or even want to wake up? I know a lot of people that don't want to wake up and they stay in bed all day long suffering because they don't like living.
Yeah, there's serious depressive conditions that would push you into that. Being bedridden from mental illness. A big problem I have with it is that some people can't relate to it, and that's fine, but they'll make no effort to because of that.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. People don't realize it until they deal with it, and if they don't deal with it, then they make fun of it, and they don't think it's a big deal because they
No,
can't
and what do
relate
you
to it.
do? What do you do with something that you can't process, or what do people usually do with something they can't process? They turn it into anger or rage, or we're leading into different mental health disorders that unchecked mental health disorders and problems can lead to. So
I
yes,
know
the
a lot of people say I don't have a problem, and usually 9 times out of 10, those that say they don't have a problem have a problem.
that must be amazing to not have a problem.
But they say there's nothing wrong with me. I don't have mental health problems. That's you guys. So here's one of the diagnoses of mental health issues: anxiety, anxiety or disorder. It's excessive fear and worry that people with these conditions often try to avoid their triggers. Examples include generalized anxiety disorders, post traumatic stress disorder, social anxiety disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, and phobias.
Yeah, and these can be they can be varied too. It can be everything from you just dissociate or you're reluctant to do something, reluctancy, or it can be full on panic attacks that they can cause, or agoraphobia, agoraphobia, however you want to say it. Like,
Agoraphobia. That's what my sister has, and that's afraid of people and going outside.
you know,
I sent it to you on your text so you could read it. I sent it to your phone so you could see it. I don't know you're on your phone though. So,
I am on my phone. You sent the description? Yes, I actually read the description. I actually put the description in the description box today.
right.
And I'm supposedly streaming to my audience right now.
You are. It says Henry at the top.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yes. So,
So I think
obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD. It's an anxiety disorder that causes unwanted thoughts, repetitive behaviors, such as hand washing or cleaning surfaces.
a lot of people don't know they have OCD. I know a couple of people who I started explaining why they were doing that, and I'm like, well, if I was to do this and to move this and leave it here on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad would that bother you? And they're like, well, I never thought about it, but 10, like 10, like I would be. I'm like, okay, and I start doing other things like that in front of them. They're like, yeah, no, that would cause me great pain to have those things out of
Yeah.
order.
Yeah.
So you might not even know you have that. You could just be very organized, but where's that line draw? That's where
Hmm.
therapists and the DSM comes into play, is to figure out if it's becoming a crippling addiction in your life,
I
something that
remember.
causes you stress.
I remember when I had OCD really bad, and anything would mess it up. Like if the sheets and blankets weren't four cornered, if a lampshade was tipped a little bit too much sideways and it wasn't straight, if a picture was a little bit crooked and not straight and centered, it was so bad that I wanted such order because I had no order within myself. I was
Right.
chaos in me. So I wanted to make sure everything around me had order. I would go up to a stranger and tuck their pocket in, that little teeny pocket next to your personal space. I would tuck that in on some people's pants
That
because it would bother
that
me.
is pretty
Eggs.
wild. Don't try that in prison though. I mean something.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Eggs, different things.
there's such a huge board of reasons why you can do that too. Like you said, you had to have you didn't like the chaos or anything. You OCD and these things can be onset by traumas and things. Like I grew
Mhm.
up in a pretty nasty environment. I would consider my parents weren't too big on cleaning or anything, and because of that, I wear socks all the time. I have recently, in the last couple of years, started not wearing socks and walking on grass and stuff. But I've always been terrified to walk around people's floors and have my feet dirty and stuff. There's things like that. They just cause it. There's usually a root cause for the things that we do.
Exactly. Exactly. Here's another one: schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is complex psychotic disorder that causes disruption to thinking, emotions, and distorted perception of reality.
Schizophrenia is no fun, and I know a lot of people who suffer with it, and I mean suffer with it. I've seen it go hand in hand with substance abuse quite often too, which is sad, but and that
That's
complicates
next.
things a
Yeah,
little
that's
bit.
coming up.
Schizophrenia
Um,
sucks. You're getting into complex psychological disorders like this. We're past OCD with how crippling they can be.
Danny said me too with the socks thing.
Oh, cool, Dan. Well, I don't know if it's cool, but it's nice to feel validated.
Substance use disorders, including drug addiction, alcohol use disorder, and gambling disorder, and sex. But they didn't put that in there. But sex is a disorder.
It's caffeine.
That's
Just
a
saying.
disorder. Yeah, yeah, that's abuse, kind of. So when our mental isn't right, we obsess with things. We have an irrational thinking. We state of ourselves. We overindulge. Disruptive behavior disorders include, I don't know this word, appasental. I don't know what that word is. Um, and conductive disorder. I don't know what that word is though. Do you see it?
Oppositional.
Yeah,
It's
go
a.
ahead.
I don't know. Let me pull it up really. I'm not gonna screw this up. Oppositional disorders. I'd have to break out my. Should I break out my DSM?
I
It's the
don't know.
diagnostic. It's the
I didn't.
Diagnostic and Statistic Manual for Treating Mental Illness.
You can. I don't even know what that is though. I've never heard of that.
Well, I guess I'm gonna grab it then.
Appasental. That's what that is. Oppositional. Oppositional. Dis- deficient. What's
Opposition
oppositional?
is
Oppositional
related to
deficient.
opposition. Stand by.
And the eating disorder is a type of mental health condition.
I have eating disorders.
I did too. I ate a lot for comfort. I ate a lot for acceptance, feeling safe.
Right.
Personality disorders include borderline personality disorder and antisocial personality disorder. Either you have more than one person inside of you, or you don't like being around nobody. Some signs of mental health or mental illnesses include unusual and illogical thoughts, unreasonable anger or irritability, poor concentration and memory, hearing voices that no one else hears, increased or decreased sleep, increased or low appetite, lack of motivation, withdrawing from people. So that's are the disorders. That are some of them. I'm sure there's much more. Now we can look at it this two ways. We can look at it as in everybody is accused of having something. They're labeling somebody somewhere. There's always something wrong with you. If you don't fit into the norm, then there's something wrong with you. You're being labeled. You're being labeled as ADHD. You're being labeled as bipolar. You're being labeled as manic depressive. You're being labeled regardless because you don't see the world normally, whatever that case may be, what the definition of normal is. But at the end of the day, it's not about how you see the world. It's about how much control you have over the world you see. Once you have
And
self-control over your thoughts. Did you get it?
I do. You were talking about oppositional disorders. Oppositional disorders are defiance disorders. Like you are not going to do anything what is put in front of you, what you're told. There's a whole
Okay.
bunch of them. Hey, welcome to the diagnostic criteria. It's actually the quick reference for the DSM, and it's next to every psychiatrist's table. It's it says facetious. It's got everything, every kind of disorder you can possibly imagine. And this is my little travel.
I need a copy of that for sure.
That's the DSM-4. We're on DSM-5 now, and I need a DSM-5 because they put more stuff in it because brains are continuously changing.
They are continuously changing and evolving. And like I said, everybody's diagnosed with something. They're going to label you with something wrong with you at the end of the day.
Well, mislabeling's a terrible thing. Like when they say schizo's a terrible thing because schizophrenia is a really, really, it's a medical disorder. It's pretty rounded down to certain things, and people will lump that in with auditory and complete and multiple personality disorder. And there's there's differences to the things, there's whole studies and classes on different disorders. So mental health's so widely unrecognized that these things get lumped together and people just get called things like bipolar is thrown around quite a bit. Truly
That's what
being
I said.
bipolar is
Yeah.
this
I
heavy thing.
I also
So
said ADHD is thrown around a lot.
it is. It is. I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was younger,
So was
and
I.
I believe it.
I focus
I,
very, very well. I was in classes and they made me take Ritalin and everything for it, and I was able to test out of them and get out of those classes and be able to continue without it. The thing is, though, at the end of the day, I think they're gonna label everybody with something. Like I said, if you don't fit into the norm or what you should be, if you talk
we'll
too
see.
much, if you ask too many questions, if you're curious,
Yes.
if you're a busybody and you have a lot of energy, you're labeled. You have a different opinion. This, like he said about the what is it? Positional
Oppositional. Yes.
opposition, just like that.
It's a defiance disorders.
Yeah, because we don't want to agree with what they're saying. Nothing in front of us makes sense. So we're going to have a different opinion no matter what. Even if it doesn't make sense to us, we're still going to differ the opinion because we don't want to agree with someone.
Oh no. Well, there's a line there though. Like you could look at someone like me or you and say we have an oppositional disorder, and that may well be true. But there are some serious, disorders where the brain it's a tick where it won't let you do it. There's no worldly reason why you would be opposed to certain types of things, but you might just say, right, fuck you to it. It's just a reflex almost. Like why would I not consider myself having, maybe I do, but I don't agree with a lot of things I see, and I believe I have meritable reasons to back that up why I actually believe that. It's not just something I'm flying off the handle on.
I think a
But it's
lot
the
of
same.
those disorders we can mirror them. I think a lot of people mirror them and they pick up traits of those. Doesn't mean that we should be diagnosed with it though. I've talked about this many times and I said, Charles Manson, extremely intelligent, um, had a disorder.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
intelligent individual. Is delusional thinking, but yet
yes.
very, very structured with thinking and very intelligent.
It's really narcissistic too.
Yes. And I've noticed a lot of people that have disorders tend to pick up more than one.
Well, yeah. Let's say you're a sociopath. A sociopath, that's a large umbrella term. You could have a ton of things under that. Or a psychopath.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, like Ted Bundy was a really fun, charismatic for all intents and purposes, fun guy to be around. Um, Interesting, cool guy, but he was a psychopath who would kill you. So
Now, was that the hitchhiker guy that picked up people that were hitchhiking and would eat
no,
them?
Ted Bundy was one of the more famous serial killers. Was he
So
a
was this
hitchhiker guy? There's a
guy.
few of them.
Who was the hitchhiker killer? This guy would pick up people that were hitchhiking and kill them. And he looked like the boy next door. He wore glasses. He was very intelligent. He was quiet, well mannered. Church went
Maybe
to
it was
church.
Bundy picking up people. Bundy was really crazy. What's cool about him is that
Jeffrey
despite
Dahmer.
humans. Oh yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, well he went to a lot of clubs and stuff too. Um, Gay clubs and stuff to pick people up. No, Bundy was just he was manipulative and crazy. He actually escaped like police custody, I believe twice.
Oh wow.
He's genius. Like this Dahmer was a little weird. I guess he was pretty, not outwardly crazy with people to avoid um
I'm still
getting
here.
captured.
I'm still
You
here. I
know,
have put a different pillow underneath my butt. I don't have much cushion
oh,
there.
you're good. Isn't it funny how we're talking about mental health and people are absolutely obsessed with psychopaths and serial killers? Why do you think that is? It's
Nobody
fascinating.
wants to join the show when we're talking about mental health because nobody wants to relate to it. Nobody wants to feel like they have an overstanding of it and that they can relate to it until you're depressed so much that you don't want to live and you try to take your own to unalive yourself. That's when you realize that maybe I can relate to this subject because I don't know one person in this world that had not thought about it or tried.
Whereas mental health's boring. Yeah, it's
Self
boring
help
as
is
hell.
boring. Self help is boring. Self care is boring. Nobody wants to talk about loving themselves. They want to talk about drama, gossip, um, stuff that won't make you better, stuff that will keep you in a lower vibrational state. And that's crazy to me at the end of the day because I think if we all came together and held hands with each other, we'd be able to uplift one another.
Yeah, it's a hippie shit. Get back to work.
Hmm. It is hippie shit. So you hear about
Yep.
that guy. You hear about that guy that they're gonna hang, even though he didn't do it.
No,
Everybody said he didn't do it. The victim's family said he didn't do it because the DNA proved that he didn't do it. The governor
who
wanted
we
to
talking?
reverse it where he was living at. I don't remember his name. He's supposed to die today or tomorrow.
Oh,
So
oh,
he wears
the guy with the
glasses.
tattoos all over his face, the killer of
No,
women.
no,
So there's someone named Wade Wilson who's under fire right now.
no, not
Not,
him. This is somebody who didn't do it. Wade Wilson did
oh,
it. Wade Wilson's crazy. I seen Wade
yeah, he
Wilson.
was a crazy fuck. He's a
This guy
manipulative.
didn't do it. The family says he didn't do it. The prosecuting attorney says he didn't do it. The DNA shows he didn't do it. Everybody says he didn't do it, but the governor said, "Hey, you might as well kill him because he's already on death row." The new governor, the old governor had it overturned, but the old governor jumped out of retired. So when he
Oh man.
retired, a new governor stepped in and said, "Oh no, no, we're going through with this."
Oh, we could
Even
try
though,
just killing him.
even though all the evidence proved that he did not do it, including the prosecutors are saying he did not do it. The victim's family, he did not do it.
That's weird. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, it was all over TikTok, all over Facebook.
Well, I have been in other sectors of areas doing things. I haven't been paying attention. It's kind of nice to take a break once in a while. I get very angry at certain things. I have to dial back. Mental health stuff.
Yeah, I get it. Imagine though, what would that do to your mental if you didn't do
What?
something and you're getting accused of it and you are going to go on death row because of it?
Well, if I ended up, what would it do to my mental? If I ended up being dragged, they would have to drag me to wherever they were killing me, especially if I was innocent and was proven innocent. And some, it would not go as planned. My mental would not be good. I don't like seeing elderly people losing their homes in America, and I have a very soft spot for injustice and injustice in the face of protocol, especially. I believe sometimes we can just listen to people and we can re-examine situations, but they got to go through protocol. A guy's got to die. He hasn't done a damn thing,
It's
right?
what's his name? M.A.R. Marcellus Williams on death row
Oh,
in Missouri. He was scheduled to be executed today, despite the questions about him being guilty.
if it, open investigation is an open investigation, and a not guilty is a not guilty.
He's been on death row for 24 years and kept saying he was innocent.
That's
He
a
was
shit
convicted
deal.
in 2001 of a murder from Felicia Gailey Pisces. a former newspaper reporter in 1992 or 1998. Prosecutor office was convinced that that raised concern about the lack of DNA evidence and say that Williams did not get a fair trial. Everybody's saying it. Still, the governor of Missouri says, kill him. So he's supposed to be executed at 6 o'clock Central Time. I think that'd be now. Central is 3 hours different than us. So 6, 7,
Well,
9 o'clock.
I hope he's innocent, and I hope that doesn't happen, because that's a terrible fucking breach of freedom, life, liberty, and happiness.
The governor and the state Supreme Court refuses to intervene with the U.S. Supreme Court's also denied a stay of execution.
Denied
Mm-hmm.
a stay of execution. All right.
Yeah.
I'll see.
There
How
ain't no
about this?
see. You got not even 20 minutes, or about a half an hour. This is him.
There's
I don't know if you can
and-
see this. Can you? I don't. You probably can't see this because of my thing.
Oh, I can
You
see
see it?
him.
This will be the last time he'll be just there on, and there's nothing they can do about it. No one.
Well,
There's a number of people we're calling. There's a petition already written. There's so many things that people are denying it. Crazy.
well, this is an interesting thing too, and I hate to say it, but how about another, let's call it hanging, sadly. Isn't no one's talking about Javion McGee. Have you heard about him?
Mm-mm.
He's a trucker, and he was found hanging from a tree.
Oh, I did hear about that 22-year-old trucker. Yeah, I did hear about that.
21-year-old from Illinois.
And the police won't let the family see the body or anything.
Yes, it's really fucking weird. It happened. Now, here's the thing. Why does this happen on September 11th? I'm not linking this a September 11th conspiracy. That's a really bad day for America. And it doesn't need to be made worse by whatever that is. But it's sketchy. Why we can't release the details, and no one's trying to figure it out. Like a guy's life's over, and he was a trucker, right? He's a backbone of America in the shipping industry. Hard worker, I guess.
They won't let the family see his body. They won't let his mom see his body without the dad's permission. The dad gave permission. They still can't see the body. Yeah, I heard about it.
So if he wasn't murdered in that fashion, which is the worst fucking possible thing that can happen here on American soil, well, in my opinion, why aren't we looking into the mental health reason for why that happened and why he would do such a thing, and where and how and what,
He was 22.
It's young.
Very young. This gentleman's 55. 55. Been in prison for 24 years for something he didn't do. And now I'm going to die by lethal injection in a half an hour.
The world's a really scary place.
And now they wonder why there's mental health. They wonder why people have mental health.
Mental health, people, I can't say anything, can I? It's profitable for people to be
medicated,
being used as guinea pigs. Yeah,
medicated. You think about it. You come from a concentration of slavery, put into a concentration of slavery, forced to continue a concentration of slavery from being born to going to school to going to work to having this mindset of controlled and enslaved. And then if you don't follow the rules, they will put you in a constitution of slavery behind bars.
You know, they don't work. A lot of people are working. You know, I hear them say, "I'm really depressed and sick from working 2 jobs." You know, that's pretty that's pretty fucking crazy. And you know, you work people to death. And I've seen with my own eyes that when you just work people to death and don't give them a break or anything, you don't make good production. You don't keep people. So I believe, yes, you should maybe not be a liability, and you yourself as a human being, you be an asset a little bit. You know, it's good to participate in society and push our society forward by working and helping each other. But a select few are asking a lot of people a lot. They're asking a lot of people, and there's no reason why anybody has to be killing themselves and sick to death the way they are right now. You know, I know a
You
bunch of
can't
families
say
they
that word.
do. What's that?
You have to say unaliving.
Oh, did I say that? My bad. I
Yeah,
got
it's okay.
blacklisted.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't mean it like that. It was a facetious way of saying it. Um, but yeah, that sucks. It sucks. I don't see how anyone's being productive anymore.
I find it crazy, not crazy, ironic, that nobody noticed how Robin Williams made everybody laugh and was extremely depressed on his own.
He was sick. He had a mental disorder,
And
a
nobody noticed
different
it.
outside of depression.
Right. And nobody noticed it.
Robin Williams has been kind of made the poster child for happy people being depressed, but he had Lewy body dementia, excuse me, which is pretty depressing into itself. But there's reasons for that.
Of course,
You
but
know,
nobody acknowledged that.
pain. No, I mean, no one acknowledged that Chris Farley was killing himself with drugs, alcohol, and sex, drugs, and alcohol. They just wanted to see him smash his body through tables. You know.
Yeah. Nobody cares about somebody else's well being, even if it's their own. They rather care about the chaos that's caused from an unstable being. Talk about a gentleman that kills. Oh, I did it. Talk about a gentleman that unalives a bunch of people. And he'll be remembered. Talk about a gentleman that cried for help and he'll be forgot.
Yeah, I don't like post tragedy thoughts and prayers very much. I don't.
A
I
lot of
like,
it could have been prevented.
but you know what can we do? We always got boundaries. What are you gonna beat yourself up for the rest of your life because someone reached out to you and you didn't have enough time to get back to them because you have your own stuff going on? Once again, everybody's too occupied with everything. You know, there is no sense of community. And I want to see more senses of community. I just want to see it outside of the church. And I know it sounds mean, but I want to see people wanting to do good for people for people.
What happens when you go through your whole life and you feel like you were never important and you never mattered? And then somebody comes into your life and shows you that you matter and that you were important. Will you always remember that at one time I never mattered and now I do to this person? Or will you still think that you never matter, no matter what that person tells you or shows you?
It depends.
I don't think the mental health goes away. I don't think the disorder heals itself.
It's about processing it the right way. Like
Facts.
People are like, aren't you going to have a bad time? Like, you're still going to have bad days that you quit drinking, Henry. I'm like, yeah, but my worst day sober is better than when I was drunk. You
Facts.
process trauma and bullshit better.
Facts.
The lie and the fallacy is that when you stop doing something or abstain from something, that the whole world's going to become what's known as a pink cloud, and it's just not. For
You
me,
know what I
getting sober is
noticed?
really painful.
You know what I noticed? There's a lot of people that are worried about what other people think.
Yes.
So worried about what the next person feels and says about them and how it looks. Then worried about the person that's going through it or dealing with it or growing through it. They're not worried about the individual. They're worried about what others feel and think because what the individual said. I hear it all the time. He shouldn't have put that out there. He shouldn't have said that on social media because everybody's going to think this. He's reaching out for help. And he may be seeking and he may be playing victim too much because he's seeking. But the thing is, at the end of the day, he still is reaching for help. And you're not worried about what he's saying per se compared to what other people are judging him on what he said. I can't make sense of that. I can't wrap my head around that. I can't wrap my head around why people are so worried about what other people think than worried about
So
the person that is having the thought.
I didn't really want to bring this up for too extended period of time, but it applies and it's very important to me. I I look the way I do for a certain way because it makes me really happy. I don't really dress up and wear makeup and shit and look good for anybody really except myself. And rare occasions other people who enjoy it. But so I do certain things that really help my mental health and make me forget that the bottle is even part of my life and so much trauma and shit that I went through. It's just gone, I'm happy and shit. And people will look at my makeup and shit and they say, "You're a sick fuck. You need a." I've had people comment that I need a bullet and stuff over it, and,
Crazy.
and that I'm sick in the head, sick in the head. I'm a peer support specialist. My deal's helping people. That's all they focus on sometimes, and it's not just me. And what's worse is when they're like, "Oh, well, you're one of the good ones now that I've talked to you for 5 minutes." Like, no, maybe I'm not. Quit fucking judging people.
Facts. Facts.
Talk to
Why?
them.
Yes, facts. That's what I was saying. Why sit here and say, "Oh, I'm gonna have to talk to him about what he posted or what she said," instead of fact of talk to them to find out why they posted it and what they said. Be that ear because I'm telling you right now, nobody gets heard. Everybody gets listened to, so somebody else can have a response. Nobody gets acknowledged and heard. Stop listening and start listening. Stop just hearing people and start listening to people. People don't want to do that. They rather just hear shit and go on with it and be like, "Oh, look at him. That's how he
Well,
always is. He always plays victim."
I
Oh
have a
shit.
big problem with the fuck your feelings people, the fuck your feelings crowd. Now, ironically, I am one of those people. I'm actually really mean. I just play a nice guy on TV here. But I don't do it all the time. I'm not like I only fucking drag the fuck your feelings side of me out when people are being really disrespectful to me or somebody else. And then when I turn that off, it's probably gonna end up in a fight or something because I am mean. But just dial it back. You can be that kind of person. You just have the propensity to defend yourself or others or lay down the law about how you feel. That doesn't mean you should walk around being an abusive asshole to everybody or just a prick and a bully or a bitch. Okay, I'm not gonna just relate this to dudes. You be a bitch, yeah, or
dudes are
Karen.
dudes are can be that also. So, but at the end of the day, I really honestly don't care what someone else thinks of me.
Oh no,
I love who loves me and I love who don't. Because at the end of the day, I love me.
I
What
don't
someone
care.
else thinks about me having an opinion on how I see the world or how I feel does not validate me.
No. I mean,
Henry,
what do you do?
what
What
people think of you and people say about you does not validate you.
I consider certain things a problem. So I don't let what people think about me bother me to the point where it stops me from doing things.
Not at all.
It does bother me that people feel a certain way, to be honest with you.
Rita, do you know about mental health and how has it affected your life or someone you know? Are you comfortable talking about it? That's the thing. A lot of people aren't comfortable talking about it because it opens up wounds. It makes them see themselves in a different manner. It makes them really look at themselves when they're not trying to. Henry and I are on this platform because we don't mind looking within ourselves and healing ourselves from within. We don't mind showing people that they're not alone. We
I actually
don't
love it.
mind letting people know that, hey, we're here for you because we too know what it's like. It's like that post I posted the other day last week when I was talking about the show that was coming on, and someone asked my mate what is going on. Is there trouble in paradise? My social media is social, and I don't mind people talking about it. At the end of the day, though, my personal life is personal, and I don't put it out there except for who I'm in a relationship or my like little things with my grandchildren to get content and to get someone to be aware. But at the end of the day, if people really focus on their own life and their own well-being and how they're feeling, why would you worry about what somebody else is dealing with? Why do you worry about if there's trouble in paradise? Worry about your own house, because a lot of people that are throwing rocks live in glass houses. Let me see one person that's so perfect in this world that they can pass judgment.
Well,
Please, I want to meet one person.
I'm gosh, there's certain things I always want to say and I just can't say them. Why would you want to judge somebody, right? Why would you want to do that? There are cultural reasons. There are paying attention to TV too much reasons. There are not thinking outside or thinking for yourself enough reasons. They're not communicating with people enough reasons. Paying attention to the fucking media and politics reasons. That shit needs to go. You need to start talking to people. And not fighting. And not 3 or 4 sentence, paragraphs going back and forth on Facebook in a fight for 5 days. I mean, like, people should be getting together and doing shit on more massive levels. I'm getting to the point where I want to go join disaster relief or something.
I want to help people say fuck it more and not worry about what other people think and just be authentic to you. If you can pass around a torch of authenticity, that's what I want people to do. I love supporting those who support me. That's my main thing. If you don't share my stuff, I don't want to share your stuff. I'm not making you share my stuff. And sometimes I share people's stuff even if they don't share my stuff, but I'm not going to go out of my way to share your stuff when you do not acknowledge nobody else. You force people to share your stuff, but do you go onto their stuff and share their stuff? Probably not. People want a certain treatment that they're not ready to give, but they want it from them, for them, but they can't give to others. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, a lot. I try to hard or share people's stuff as much as I can. And I notice that if I'm sharing it and no one and they're not liking my shit or then like my shit, then what's the point? But I think part of it, I've noticed that social media and stuff and trying to get monetized and doing certain things has made people sell a lot of their soul to the internet. So I don't know if it's personal reasons because I think I'm probably not alone in thinking, why won't this person like my stuff? Is it personal? Maybe not, but
Hi, Vlor.
hi, Laura.
So we're talking about mental health and how important it is, and how we're going to talk about it on Thursday too. And Thursdays we're going to talk about self-loathing and how being in the dark space, what it does to you by letting it consume you. Today we're just talking about the diagnosis of it and what are the types of disorder, and that we all know somebody if we haven't dealt with it ourselves, we know somebody who has. And they're not alone, and we just want to spread the message that you're not alone, because when you feel like no one can get you and no one relates to you and nobody hears you, that's when you start allowing your mind to get darker and darker and deeper in the darkness. Social media is terrible for so many things, but I've noticed on social media, one thing Facebook wants you to do is be authentic and be a creator and post your stuff and not share and support. They really don't want you to share and support people. They want you to be the creator so people will share and support you.
I know that's really fucked me up to be honest, because now I can't share other people's stuff, and I gotta like tweak it to make it my own, and it really pisses me off because now I'm terrified to share other people's stuff because yeah, I want to do more.
Yeah. And you want to gain revenue from it because you're on
So
it a lot.
there's how people are divided, and like where's that back and forth going? Ah,
I want to let people see the world differently than through judgment, agreements, belief systems that are not of their own. This, whatever the definition of normal is, who created it? And who was it defined for? I guarantee it was a
normal
mass. Go ahead.
normal's a good word. Just look at normal as whatever doesn't kill you. Whatever's whatever's not actually hurting you.
What did she say?
It says yes, and I have found out that people have lots of views are most likely buying them, so it's not really authentic. Yeah, yeah, and it sucks, putting out stuff you put your whole soul into and everything, and it's just and you don't get the engagement you expect, or it is a lot of work.
It's a lot of
On,
work. It's definitely a
on
lot of
top of
work.
it, it is, Kimberly.
I know. I help Danny with his every now and then. It's a whole bunch of work. And because my life is revolved around wanting to help other people and be important to other people's lives, that I'm on Facebook almost 24/7, one way or another. I'm on it now without being on it. So I don't get paid from it. I get stars. I don't know where they go, but I get stars. They don't come to me. I don't know where they go, but I get them. And then it's just weird that, they want you. They want you to work for them so that Facebook can say working, but they also want to keep you where they know what you're doing 24/7.
Yeah,
They want to control you. She says I work every
yeah.
day hard too. What's to say?
To be real and that was find that out was very heartbreaking. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's another controlled way of keeping you controlled so they know where you're at 24/7. They have their eye on us at all times. I seen a funny thing, and I call it funny as in not ha 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 slapping my knee funny. Funny is what the fuck funny. They are paying people $5,000 to get that barcode tattoo. And if you're married, it's 25,000.
Mhm.
And
That's funny, isn't it?
a lot of people are doing it. I guarantee you. Money money controls so much in this world that it takes away from love, takes away from passion, it takes away from the soul of one individual.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I saw that thing. I talked about it before. Remember that guy that ripped up, we showed it on here, that ripped up that $100 bill and caught it on fire?
Yeah.
Definitely can't stop. Definitely can't stop. And I don't use the word but because that's a big period to me. Nothing before that mattered once you put that in. Um Definitely will
Speaking of
never
that,
stop.
yeah. But we got this. We can't stop. That's.
Yeah.
I don't have a
Yeah,
choice. So.
not at all. We have choices and our choices to no choice. Um I said Danny made a post and said, if they were writing a book about you, what would the title be? And mine was It's Not Over Until It's Over. What would your title be of your book if they wrote a book about you?
Mine.
hmm Valor, what was your title be if they wrote a book about you? What would your title be? Anybody watching, if they wrote a book about you, what would your title be? What's yours, Henry?
I don't know. Probably my name is Henry. Hi.
I like that. This is Valor's.
Give it all you got. There you go.
Yep, mine was You Can't Stop. It's not over until it's over. It's not over until it's over. So, at the end of the day, I wish people put more light on subjects that are uncomfortable to talk about. So it's more comfortable for people to approach.
Yeah, they usually just throw in shade.
Facts. Facts. Danny made a song, the Friday Night Rain song, and it was talking about men getting cheated on too and men hurt too. And that
That's important.
song did amazing numbers because he talked about something that nobody really wanted to talk about. I've talked to him one time and he said something to me and I was like, none of that matters. He said, as a black man. And I said, none of that matters. None of that matters. It's as a human being, you have the right to feel the way you feel. Doesn't matter your skin color, your race, it doesn't matter your age. As you, a breathing soul that has the want and love for life, that loves yourself, you have that responsibility and you have that want. You have that God given, and even though God is vague and that, and so many people use it differently, you have that right though to feel however you feel. No matter what color, no matter what race you are, no matter your sex, no matter your age. You are a being. You are breathing. You have feelings and they matter. Men can cry. Men's feelings should be validated.
Yeah. They need more than just Jack Daniels and country music.
I don't like the fact of how much privilege I have because of who I am as a woman or as white or as my name is Kimberly Common. Because of my age is 50. So it's respectable. Over somebody younger of a different race with a different name. All feelings should be validated. Yes. No matter who they are, no matter what sex they are. no matter what they've done as an individual. That should not take away the fact that they too bleed. They too have a heart. This this thing about a man should be strong, he shouldn't cry because it makes him a pussy. That thing is weird to me. I can't wrap my head around that.
Yeah, that was beaten into everybody.
Laura said she'd be back. But yeah, no, I can't wrap my head around the fact that so many people have this stigma of being labeled like they just don't matter from a society when everybody doesn't matter. None of us matter. None of us matter. The richest person. Look at Diddy. You know he's not the big backbone goat of the predators. And I don't like talking about people that are in the in the light in everything's going on and stuff. I don't bring that up on my shows. But there's something bigger behind him.
Yeah.
In the food chain, he really is the deer. He really isn't the big guy. He really someone did that, who did it? Fata made a thing on his TikTok about it, and it was so agreeable that, like, are you kidding me? You act like he is the big one behind all of it.
You
He's
know what?
beaten. Go ahead.
We have we have 4 minutes. We could swap Marcellus with Diddy.
At the
That'd
end
be
of the
fine.
day, yes, because there's Marcellus who really didn't do it, and everybody knows he didn't do it, including the victim's family. And yet, in how many minutes? 3 is going to be lethal injected.
I'm tired of this shit. You know what? These celebrities are getting nailed for hurting all these people and being predators. You know what? Quit turning it into a media circus. Just deal with them. And in the meantime, support your local arts and artists like Danny and me.
And Valor.
Good shows.
And Valor. Valor has
And
a
hell yeah,
beautiful
Laura.
voice.
It's amazing.
Amazing. But at the end of the day,
Bring back
yeah,
Laura.
I think people put a light on things to take the light off of things, and we will blame and point fingers at so many other things to overlook things that are very important, like Marcellus. 55, been in prison for 24 years for a crime he did not do, he did not commit, and everybody knows it, including the people that are trying to unalive him. Talk about taking one for the team.
Yeah, that's bullshit. I don't I don't understand the way things are. They don't make sense to me.
We're expendable.
Yeah.
For real. We're just a number. That's all we are. We're dollar marks. Just one less human being walking around. Who
Well,
cares?
what I would say, if you could take anything away from this, is that don't be expendable. Um, Fight for independence and freedom. You gotta. Don't be expendable.
You're going
Because
to be
yeah,
a target regardless. You're going to be a target regardless. You go with the system and you become a yes man and you just shut up and mind your business and do what you're told. That's the only way you're going to escape this reality.
you know, don't let bullshit dictate how you feel about stuff. Once again, try and research and think for yourself.
So, Henry, what's a good song to end it with?
My guitar's not here at the moment. I'm
Oh,
doing
okay.
recording.
Oh, okay.
Now,
What is your
I
mental
don't know.
health song, though? What is a good song? Banana Clip?
It is a good one. I was thinking it's funny the letter you were bringing up earlier.
Yeah.
It's funny because I said my friend on part of the chorus. I said my friends all think I'm on crack, which I smoked a lot of crack. Okay, I'm singing from experience here. It's not just poking fun at that community. I have been there, but yeah, like a lot of people think you're crazy for trying to help someone or seeing the good in someone. So uh, don't listen to that shit. People deserve help. Crackheads deserve help. Addicts deserve help. They deserve to be listened to. I think it ties in pretty well to what we were talking about.
You matter.
Isn't it?
Your
Yes.
mental health really matters at the end of the day. Whether you like to believe it or not, and whether you feel like, because a lot of people feel alone. A lot of people feel like no one really cares, and they're dealing with this alone. If you put everybody who's dealing with this alone in a room, you're going to see that you're not alone, because there's going to be so many alone individuals in one room. Think about that.
Yeah.
So, my message is to leave this. I want you to realize, be authentic, be yourself. And even if nobody listens to you, listen to yourself. Don't let no one make you not want to be here. You're worth it. So, what do you want to say, Henry?
Oh, yeah. Be nice and empathetic to people. And it's going to sound like regurgitated stuff you've heard before, but we don't know what people are going through. So maybe if you are an asshole, self proclaimed, dial it back a little bit and see where that gets you. You might have more positive interactions with people, because everybody wants to be heard, and you probably do too.
Facts.
Have it.
So, I love you all. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for supporting us, and thank you for allowing us to water you. You matter to us as we matter to you. May your night be full of positive energy and high vibrations, and I love you all. Henry? Ashe,
Love you
everyone.
guys.